What are the symptoms of a blown head gasket on an 18.5 horsepower Briggs & Stratton lawn mower engine?
Hi, my name is will be assisting you. You will normally notice a lack of power, oil usage or burning, harder than normal starting. If you remove the oil dipstick with the engine running, you will get a lot of oil being blown back out of the dipstick tube. You may notice oil being blown back into the air filter base and circulated through the carburetor and back into the cylinder and burnt.
Just started the mower and removed the dipstick, and yes, there is oil blowing out the dipstick tube. Quite a bit of oil buildup on the muffler. Engine will not run at high RPM.
Definitely sounds like you have a blown head gasket. You have the symptoms that normally go along with it. If you have a compression gauge, you could check compression, but sometimes it is misleading on this engine. You are better to do a cylinder leak down test, at which most people don't have the proper test equipment to do this. No high RPM run, with oil blowing out of the dipstick tube and exhaust, is enough to tell me that you have a partially blown head gasket, which is allowing for the crankcase to become pressurized and blow oil out.
I think the gasket may have been cracked for a while, as the oil has been burned for the last couple of months. I have changed the oil and filter multiple times, and after short run time the oil is burned again. I am not a mechanic by any means. How hard is this gasket to replace, and is there a manual to do this?
It is not an extremely hard job, but you will need an inch-pound torque wrench in order to complete the job. You need to torque the bolts when putting the head back on, and you will need a feeler gauge to reset the valve clearances upon putting back together. There is a service manual that takes you through the process step by step. It is a rather large file and could be emailed to you, or you can go to Briggs & Stratton's website and view it in a PDF file. By having your model and type number available, you should be able to find it on their website. http://www.briggsandstratton.com. If you prefer, I can try to send you the file. Just let me know.
If you wouldn't mind, can you send the file? Not sure I am mechanic enough to do this, but I have a neighbor that is a mechanic of sorts. Where can I order the correct head gasket and get it here pretty fast? Or can you order it for me?
If you can provide your email address for me, I will be glad to send over the service manual. As for getting the head gasket, the best place to start is at your local Briggs & Stratton dealer. They would most likely have it in stock. If not, they can order and get one within a day or two for you in most cases. You can always order online, but it normally will take longer to get it. If you can provide the type number from your engine, I will be glad to get a part number for you. I would recommend purchasing what is called a valve overhaul kit, because it will come with all the gaskets that you need in order to make the repair.
Sorry. I had to step away for a minute. The man across the street has a compression tester. It is holding 140 pounds and not bleeding down for like 15 to 20 minutes. He says that pretty much rules out the head gasket and rings. He thinks it may be the PCV valve. I didn't know there was one on this engine. What are your thoughts on this?
The compression on this engine is normally around 110 to 115 pounds per square inch. At 140, I believe you are getting false reading. If you had the ability to do a leak down test, it would identify your problem to an exact. I still believe that you have a head gasket blown. I have seen this happen a lot, and it will affect your compression reading because of the design of this engine. You will have compression leaking back into the crankcase, which will in turn cause the compression readings to be off because of the internal pressurization of the crankcase. There is a breather assembly on the engine, but I have never seen one go bad in the last 20 years of production on these engines. I think you will find that the head gasket is partially blown, causing your problems.
Just talk with a guy across the street and read him what you said. He said he basically did a leak down test. Screwed the compression tester into the spark plug hole and turned the mower over. The reading was almost 140 and did not leak down for 15 minutes or so.
No, he did not do a leak down test. A leak down test is done by introducing air pressure into the cylinder to verify the integrity of the rings, valves, gaskets. Upon doing a leak down test, you would know exactly where or what is causing your problem. The compression gauge has what is like a valve core in it that does not allow air to leak back out of it when doing your compression test. You can't use a compression gauge to do a leak down test, it is a totally different test gauge that would be used. You would have to hold the piston at TDC while doing the test and make sure that both valves are completely closed in order to do a proper leak down test.
Oh, okay. I don't have that test ECUP. And don't know where I might find one. Starting to wonder if I may be better off just buying a new mower instead of throwing a lot of money at an already old mower. Bought it in 2005 and was old when I bought it. Can you go ahead and send that PDF file in case I want to go ahead?
So it is more than 10 years old, it might be worth looking at overall condition of machine and consideration of replacement. However, the gaskets are going to be fairly minimal cost, and if you can do the work yourself, it is about a 45-minute to an hour job. You will save yourself any labor costs by doing the work yourself. If the rest of the machine is still in good condition, I believe that it would be well worth repairing it, but that is your decision. I will need your email address to send over that file. Thank you, it has been a pleasure to assist you today. Please take a moment to rate your experience.
Email address is at. Can you include the part numbers that I will need to do this repair?
In order to provide part numbers, I will need the type number from your engine. If you can provide that, I will be glad to send over the part number that will be needed to make the repair.
Here are the numbers pulled from the engine: 31P77703480104130ZD52895.
Okay, I will send over the information in a few moments. Based on the numbers from your engine, it was built in 2004, so it wasn't that old when you bought it, but is still 11 years old at that.
Thanks, John, you have been very helpful. See what my wife says about trying this fix rather than buying a new mower. If we A through here, I will sign off and do the rating. One more question before I go. Is it typical for the oil to look burned after just a few minutes of runtime?
Yes, especially if you are getting that blow-by from the gasket leaking. You also can't get every bit of the old oil out, so it will discolor within the first run normally.
Okay, have you sent the file and numbers yet?
Not just yet, it will take me a little while to pull them and attach to an email to send over to you. They will be on their way shortly. The part number that you will want in order to make the repair is 794,152, which will include the head gasket, intake, exhaust, valve cover gasket. This should be all that you would need in order to make this repair. That email is on its way over to you. It is a rather large file, so it may take a little bit for it to process. I hope that it provides everything that you are looking for. It has been a pleasure to assist you today.
John, I received the files but have not looked at it yet. Are the part numbers that I need listed?
I actually posted the part number in a response here. The part number you want is 794,152, which will have everything in it that you will need to make this repair.
Okay, thanks again. Signing off and rating now. You have been a huge help.
If you have a home improvement or appliance question and want to chat with an expert now, visit justanswer.com/ythi.